Hi friends, I wanted to come back and talk about, because in my other video about healthcare and being advocates for ourselves and so forth, I wanted to come back because I alluded towards vitamins and supplements and so forth as what people are using as tools to better their health. And why is this important to me? Do I take supplements from time to time? Yes, sometimes. I don't take supplements every single day. I do take herbs that I will put into a capsule, or I will use them in a smoothie or in something that I'm baking as a nutritional benefit, including teas and whatnot. And I'll make lotions and potions. What I mean is I make salves and stuff that have proven to work for us. Now, when I talk about supplements, I'm also going to talk about MLMs, multi-level marketing. And this is going to offend some people because I know that some people get very, very high-pitched. They get upset that people say, no, I don't want to participate in the multi-level marketing. My mother and stepfather were in Amway, and I saw firsthand what MLMs do to the family dynamic, to the couple dynamic, the whole thing. It becomes a challenge to, better themselves, to reach gold, silver, whatever those markers are, for a free car and all that kind of stuff. There's more to the MLMs that people are not aware of when they sign you up. But where I'm going with this is not about ditching that. If you feel motivated to do that, if that is your calling, you do what you need to do. Have I participated in MLMs? I sold, not Amway, but I sold Avon when I was younger after high school. They pushed me to make sure certain sales, and then you felt obligated that you had to buy stuff, and you end up with too much stuff. And I'm of the adage that you don't need a lot of stuff. You don't need a lot of this stuff. And we don't know what's in things. And things have changed of what is put into our lotions and makeup and stuff. But it's also an incentive to buy more. So if I couldn't get sales, I had to figure this out. And so eventually I got out of Avon. I was only in it for less than a year. I've done Discovery Toys, knowing it was an MLM. But I also had children at the time, so I went into it selfishly. I did some parties, and I think I did that for a couple of years. I had fun. Actually, I had a lot of fun. I didn't force people to buy from me. I just said, hey, this is what I'm doing if you're interested. And this is when we used to do the parties there. So let's switch this back to the direction in terms of supplements and vitamins. There are many MLMs out there that are pushing their magic potion on many people, whether it's weight loss, erectile dysfunction. I saw that one today and I'm like, what? You don't need to see a doctor to get improvement. Actually, your physical and your healthy lifestyle, I'm not guaranteeing, I'm not a doctor, I can't predict this, but you can make changes so this is working better for you. But remember, on the latter of the two that I just mentioned, stress will make things very difficult. So even if you're trying all these supplements, it can be a problem. When I was dealing with Lyme disease, and I got calls from some people that were selling Plexus, and they said, Laura, this heals Lyme disease. And I said, how do you know that? And they said, well, it's healed other people. And I would question, well, did they truly have Lyme disease, or were they just bitten, or did this really help them? And how do you know this? What is the medical, scientific, and yeah, here I am saying scientific evidence, because, I think the last few years they've lost that ability to use that as a basis, but it is out there for some things. And so I would question them, and they said, well, we just know that it works. And I said, well, that's really good, but how do I know that it works? And they said, well, we have evidence. So as they talked to me, and I said, do you have a PhD in this? And they said, no. And I said, what constitutes that you are a person that I can trust with something that is causing a lot of issues? Can you guarantee that this will solve all my problems without me telling you what each individual one is? They couldn't. I said, please stop hassling me. They continued to hassle me until I had to block them. And then I have had people tell me about essential oils. Now I love essential oils, but they didn't do the trick. It took working with a physician and him allowing me to learn about herbs that benefited Lyme disease. So, am I healed to where I have no Lyme? I don't know. I get flares every now and then, but that can be with most anything, any disease that you may have encountered in life. I'm just doing the best I can to refrain from it. Another area of concern is the amount of vitamins that are out there. And the worst culprit are gummy bears. First of all, that is sugar getting onto your teeth. And if you want good dental health, which you should, if you want overall good health, you want to avoid that. Or you need to brush your teeth every time you have a gummy bear. Your choice. I'm not your mother. I really don't care what your choice is. If that's what you like, then you do what you need to do. But you go into the aisles and you see tons and tons of supplements. So instead of eating healthy, we're going through the aisles of over-processed foods. And to compensate, we are offsetting our bad eating habits with nutritional supplements. They are not, there's no oversight for these, so people can put things out there. There are things out there that you just don't know what's in it. Proprietary blends. If it says proprietary blend, please do your due diligence. Actually write to the company. There was an ointment that was recommended to me, so I wrote to them and I said, could you tell me what was in your proprietary blend? They wouldn't. And then I had explained why. So they were able to then tell me whether that particular substance was in their product. And they confirmed that it was. So it's like, okay, thank you. I won't be able to participate in your product. The other thing that is really, really concerning is those who are physicians promoting health supplements that are their name, their name is on it. And so when I read their articles, there's a part of me that sits back and say, okay, are these articles authentic? Are they real? Or is it something that is a selfish motivator behind it where you're going to upsell me to a supplement that you sell? Because if you look at some of them, and I'm not going to lash out on any of them, I'm just saying, think twice about when they start saying, hey, my supplement does this. Because when you're trying to get authentic medical information so that you can better understand your situation, your spouse, your children, or for information when you go and talk to your physician, what are they trying to sell? Understand what's behind it. I'm not saying for you not to take those supplements. I'm not saying that they're horrible. But wouldn't you rather get all your nutrients from the food, whether it's your vegetable, whatever, if it's you want to be plant-based or whether you want to be carnivore or whether you want to be Mediterranean, whatever the diet fad is at the moment. I realize some people are going to say it's not a fad. And I think we have so many diets out there, so many, and that it's confusing that every time I talk to my doctor or one of my old primary care docs, I was telling him, he goes, oh, you're on a Mediterranean diet. I said, is that what it is? Because I eat meat, fish, vegetables, and all those wholesome things. But like everybody, once in a while, we will eat something that's not appropriate because we're on the road or something. But what I'm getting at is we don't rely on the supplements. We're relying on herbs that I've researched. Now, I had, let's see, what kind of, I went to see a doctor who was a holistic doctor and a functional medicine doc, and loved her. She provided some information. I saw a book in her waiting room, and I'm saying, oh my gosh. And I talked to her about it. I said, this is a great resource. And she goes, yeah, it is. So she didn't suggest I buy it. I made a decision to buy that on my own. Now, when she was making recommendations for some of the things that I was dealing with, she recommended her supplements. Now, although I think they're well-made supplements, I was telling her, I said, because they were herbal supplements of sorts, I said to her, I said, but I already grow my herbs, or I order my herbs from reliable sources. I would rather use them in a tea or when I bake and do that. And she goes, well, I can't be confident that yours is processed well. So did I take offense? No, I did buy some of those. And then the reason I stopped going, because every time I went, it was another supplement. It was another supplement. And every time I left, it was like $80 to $150. And I told her once, I said, these supplements are costly. That filters into what I can afford at the grocery store. And she did the calculation, well, this will amount to like $30 a month when you break it down and all this. But 2, 3, or 4 of them, it's more than that. And so I'm not saying to not see a functional medicine doc, because I think they're awesome. I really do. But you have to be an advocate for yourself in terms of, are you willing to eat healthy? Are you willing to advocate for yourself and question, is this supplement the best alternative? And sometimes we have to try those supplements for a little bit. I don't believe in probiotics. I have used them and I have some, but I never finish them. And the reason is I haven't found them to be beneficial. I'm not trying to say these things don't work. For me, they don't. And, it's not because up here I'm saying this isn't going to work. I actually, when I try something, I'm hoping for results. And it doesn't change anything. So by changing and being more intentional with how I eat, being more intentional with my exercises, being more intentional in reducing my stress, I'm feeling better. Does it resolve all my concerns or even a few that are remaining? No. But it gives me hope that there could be something better by just staying away from all the extra fluff. In reference to doctors promoting supplements or in MLMs, multi-level marketing, I read today that there is a pediatric doctor who is suggesting this to their patients. I find this horrible. It's pediatricians for their pediatric patients, but because the parents are there, they're selling the parent on this will help your child's this, it'll help this. Oh, when you're having the stress level, here is something for your stress. And they will actually end up making a lot of money because all the links that they put on their website go towards these supplements. So they're making extra money, not just as a physician, but also as a marketer for those products. Now, I realize that some of you have improved with how everybody has helped you. That is wonderful. But be aware that you can make some other changes if they have not taught you these. And maybe you have tried all this. Are you being honest with yourself when you're eating healthy? Because sometimes if my anxiety is really up, I will eat, instead of a handful of nuts, I may eat twice as much, or maybe I'll add another handful of dark chocolate chips or something like that. So I don't deny this. I'll be honest with the doctor and tell him that, or her. And I think that's another area that we need to be honest with ourselves. And when you're eating healthy, don't buy in such massive amounts, food gets wasted. Buy enough. And you know what? You don't need a salad bowl like this. You don't need that. That's for a group of people. Take a small bowl or a small plate, and in it add some fish of some sort or meat of some sort, if that's your calling, or anything that can complement. You can have pickles for fermented foods if you don't want to make your own stuff. There's so much that you can do to improve your own health without the supplements. Now, one of the things, we can talk about how so much is being taken from our wallet and how costly it is to go to the grocery store. There is no doubt about that. Dave and I went this last weekend and we picked up a few things, and when we got done, I'm like, what? We didn't buy that much. And I was looking at the receipt, and some of those items, what I used to pay about a year ago, has doubled in price. And we didn't buy any bread. We didn't buy any chips. We didn't buy any crackers. We bought basic staple items. And I'm like, this is getting nuts. So as prices of food go up, because you're lacking in food, you're going to be driven towards all those supplements. Before you go that route, sure, you can get cheap supplements, but are they really providing you the nutrients that you need? Because real food provide real nutrients. Even though our ground and our soil does not have the same nutrients that it did 100 years ago, it does have nutrients that are good for us, and you can feed it without chemicals. But you have to be diligent in doing that. And if you don't have time for a garden, I get that. If you're in a job that you're always at your job, or when you get home you just want to chill out, there are farms that can provide you with those nutrient sources as well. Just get to know your farmer and get to know your own area to grow a garden. And you can grow a garden on the deck of your apartment. Now, you might not be able to grow a massive amount from the farms, like you might be able to pick up, but you still have the farmer markets that you can go to and acquire those nutritious foods. Take a look at how much you're spending at the farmer's market. And again, I repeat, don't buy, if you don't can your food or preserve your food and put it in the freezer, don't go to the farm stands and buy tons and tons of food. Like this summer, I bought 2 bushels of corn because I used the silk for medicinal reasons, and the corn I was able to can for our use, and I dried a bunch as well. And our chickens can eat some of the corn, so I'm not worried about that. So if you're not able to do that, then just on the weekend when you want corn on the cob in the summer, just grab what your family will eat that day or that weekend or even throughout the week or something. But if you're one not to have lots and lots of salads, buy just a few pieces, a variety of greens that you can make a large salad out of. You'd be amazed at how full you'll be from having a salad. And in those salads, you can put canned like black beans or I can't think of the bean. You can put many of those beans right into your salads. You can put olives in there. You can put peppers. There's so much that you can put into a salad that by the time you could have 4 leaves off your lettuce, and then by the time you're done, you got this really beautiful, beautiful, delightful salad. But it takes work, and not all salads are all prepared. And be very careful when you buy a salad in a package. And one of the things I noticed, something I do, and I noticed another couple people were looking at it, in the organic area there were vegetables that are in plastic. And when you pick them up, there's a lot of liquid in there. And so that's a sign that the vegetables are going bad. So I don't buy a lot in the organic area if it's bagged. I've just chosen not to. So I hope that's helpful. I know that I might be coming across as judgy. I'm not trying to be. And a lot of doctors might recommend, like in the winter months here in New Hampshire, some doctors recommend getting a vitamin D supplement. And osteoporosis, those are things that you need to think about, is calcium and vitamin D and vitamin K. You can go out on your deck in the wintertime or go for a walk and get those rays, spend 20, 30 minutes outside and you get that vitamin D. But in addition, you can get a lot of these supplements in your food. You don't need to have supplements. Again, I'm not saying that supplements are not needed. I'm just saying be very careful of your source and understand the nutrients or the ingredients that are in there for you. And if somebody has a business and their goal is to meet their business goals, if you want to support them, that's okay. But make sure you're doing it for your benefit first and then complement that for them. Because their choice to be in a business that does this is not your choice. It is their choice to do this. And I'm all for small businesses. I ran a small business for a very long time. And every now and then I'll take in some sewing and stuff. But I take good pride in that. I'm not hiring anything else. I'm not doing anything for anybody else. This is straight and narrow. This is what I do. And I know a lot of other companies that they make their own products or they provide a service that is their own. MLMs are different. Yes, it is a personal business. And if you choose to use that, that's okay if that's what you want to do. But understand, the first thing that you should be doing, my personal opinion, because I'm one that does not believe in debt, is make sure that you're getting your foods first and that your credit card isn't being jacked up to support a small business. So think twice about your supplements, but in the meantime, make sure you're eating good and stay healthy. Have a great day and may God bless you.